You're listening to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast about one of the most legendary bands of all time, Deep Purple. We take a look at the music, history, and people behind the band Deep Purple and beyond.
And coming to you from the suburbs of Providence, Rhode Island, I'm your co-host, John Mini Eggs Matola.
Mini eggs, like not Cadbury mini eggs. It's way too late or early for that.
Or is it?
Oh, did you find you found a stash? Oh man.
No, I didn't. Now we're gonna bypass a lot of this stuff here. So let's just let's preface this by saying this is part one of a long episode. We haven't recorded in 3 weeks.
That's true. Yep.
So
true.
We're gonna try and keep this condensed. So in those 3 weeks, we had hung out, we'd seen each other because you came back here. And I think that weekend or week later, whatever, I went to Montreal.
That's right. Yes.
Now on my part of my travels, which I had done, many Canadian things, but one of them was not going to the Walmart and finding out that they carry Cadbury mini eggs, which says enjoy all year. So I'm like, I think I will, and bought half a dozen packages so I could enjoy all year. And
Were you sweating coming back through customs? Do you have anything to declare? No, nothing at all. Not
no,
a trunk full of Cadbury eggs.
Truck full of mini eggs. I'm like, God damn it. So I'll tell you, this is a candy. I think it's pronounced here, candy dash friandises. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't really.
Well, it looks like friandises. I am not I don't speak French, but anyways, so basically compared to the ones that we get here in the States, they're kind of crap. So I'm disappointed. I mean, I'm still eating them. But they're not as good because I feel like they're not as garbage as the ones that we get here.
Yeah, see, Jen has a fondness for all of those. Like the candies are all slightly different there. Like the Kit Kat bars are a little different, and
yeah,
the eggs and stuff. So like she has a fondness, and I there's a lot of the Canadian versions that I do prefer, and they have some different Canadian candy bars up there. Every time my father-in-law used to go up to visit the family, he'd come back with a trunk full of all the candies and various things in Canada that we can't get here. So
yes, but yeah, it was a fun trip. Maybe if we have time, I'll tell my fun Airbnb story.
Oh, you want to tell that now?
Yeah, I may as well, because I'm going to
let's
roast the hell out of this host and make sure that nobody ever rents from him ever.
If anyone here is planning a trip to Montreal, listen up.
Listen up. All right. So I'm going to, again, try and make this as condensed as possible. So went up with a very good friend of mine. We'll call him Other Rich, so as not to confuse him with HOF Rich Shaler.
Yeah, this Other Rich is not in the Deep Purple podcast. He might be in your friend Hall of Fame, but he's not in the Deep Purple podcast Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we've known each other for over 20 years. So I've known him much longer than Hall of Famer Rich. But regardless, we do a trip like around every summer, whatever. So I'm in charge of booking, where we go. Found what I thought was a really nice place, right in, maybe 10, 15 minutes walk from old Montreal, my favorite, because it's very European, and, other areas. So get through customs about an hour from the Airbnb, the host calls. He's just like, and he's spamming me with all these messages. Oh, you got to call me right now. And I'm like, this is not good.
No,
that I'm not filled full of confidence right now. So I pick up and he's just like, the original apartment is I don't know, like beyond damage or whatever. Like you can't stay there. He goes, but I have another property. He goes, it's 100% better than the old. Spoiler alert. It was not. It was 100%.
I can see that one coming down Broadway.
100% worse. So anyways, I'm like, okay, because I mean, what are we going to do?
What else are you going to do?
What are we going to do at the last minute? Because with Airbnb, you do have the option to cancel and they'll find you another spot. But I mean,
it's a gamble, because what if they don't have one?
Right. Or if they do, what is it? What if it's like, 40 minutes walking time out of like where we plan to be? So we got to this place, the only thing it had going for it was good location. It was right where we wanted to be. So I said, I'm suspect. Let me go in and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in, press the button. It's a building where you get buzzed in. So I get buzzed in immediately in the foyer. There's a big poster with the Airbnb logo and like a dash through it. So it's like, great. These people hate Airbnb. They don't want it in this building.
So they're getting you an Airbnb from a place that like it's actively in the lobby saying no Airbnb.
Correct.
Awesome.
So I'm just like, now, like I said, I was like, all right. So I went up and he goes, go to apartment, I don't know, 7 something or other. So I go up, he's like, you go in, it's going to be unlocked, key's going to be on the table, whatever. So I go to the first door, try and open it, can't open it. Right. So I'm like, great. So I get on the phone with this asshole and he's just like, oh, go to apartment 605. So I go down one level.
How many different apartments is he just basically trying to find? He said one of these doors will be unlocked and these guys will go in and they're going to get arrested.
So I go in and I mean, it's set up, but you could tell when an Airbnb, it's set up like one, so I'm like, I go in, the key's there, I look around. It's like, okay, bed, couch, everything looks clean. All right, good. So I go down, get rich. I'm like, okay, we got it. So now this place originally free parking, no free parking here. I had to pay $200 for like 4 days parking, which again, we got back later on from Airbnb because I was contacting them through the whole trip saying we were misled by this guy. So anyways, that was the last communication that I had with this piece of shit. Like anything that was wrong, like he didn't answer, he didn't call, mailbox was full. So it was just like, there was no light in the bathroom. So we had to bring 2 lamps into the bathroom from the living room to see anything.
Like there was not even a light fixture in the bathroom, or
there was a light fixture. It didn't work. And it had weird light bulbs in it. So we couldn't even go down the street and be like,
it with another.
Screw it. We'll find our own light bulbs.
Supposed to have a little desk lamp in the bathroom. Very intimate lighting for
a big floor lamp that hung over like this, and then like a little like table lamp, like it was like we're gonna die, we're gonna get electrocuted after showering.
Yeah, just balance it very carefully over the sink, don't worry about it.
There was supposed to be a bed and a what do you call it, a futon sofa. Sofa did not fold out. I'm shorter, Rich is like 6'2", so I'm like, you take the bed, I'll just sleep on the couch, I can do it, it's fine. The sink leaked. There was, the worst thing was in this front hall closet, you opened up and there was a balled up like comforter with like these black hairs hanging out of it, and I'm like, we're not going back in here. So I just shut it, calling the guy, just like, this is not acceptable, blah blah blah. Doesn't respond to anything. So it was fine, didn't spoil the trip because we didn't spend a lot of time in there anyway. It was passable, it was a place to stay, But at least the AC worked, the air conditioning worked. The lobby and the common areas were about 1,000 degrees because it was like really hot and humid a couple of weeks ago when we were there. So anyways, cut forward to, this is the best part of the story. Saturday night,
Saturday.
We go out to dinner. We're having a night on the town, whatever. We're like, all right, we're gonna go back, get a couple of drinks, and then we're gonna head out, hit some bars. I had some inhuman strength. I was able to stay out until 2 a.m. one night. Don't know how I did it. But I guess I was having fun. So anyways, we're going up and we hadn't seen anybody else in this building the whole time. So we're going up and there's this kid with like a bag of like, it looked like takeout food or whatever. And, he looked like he was, I don't know, 16, 17, whatever. We're like, yeah, how you doing? So he gets in the elevator, we go up, doors open. And when the doors open, like our apartment was over, like, when you get off the elevator, first one on the left, starting from the elevator was a trail of luggage to our front door, a man, a young kid, and then this was his son waiting to get into our apartment because this prick double booked it.
Oh,
and these poor people were waiting there. They flew in from France and they were there for 2 hours, couldn't get him on the phone, didn't know what was going on.
Oh my God.
And so I'm like, I'm so sorry. I said, we had like 2 days left. And I'm like, well, we're not leaving because he put us here, but it's like, I felt bad. I'm like, you need some, and it was like 10 o'clock at night.
So the last thing you want after that long flight too.
Right. So I'm trying to help the guy out. He's on the phone. I'm on my phone. I'm on the phone with Airbnb. I'm like pissed. I'm just like, you got to help this guy. This is also an inconvenience to me. And I'm like, I'm sweating through my shirt because it's 1,000,000 degrees, now. And I'm like all upset and everything. So anyways, after the whole thing, he's like, can I have a picture with you guys in front of the door so we can prove it? So he said, okay. So we stood in front of the door. So me and Rich are on this side. He's on that side with the number of the door on it. So we're standing there and we're laughing because it's so funny. And he turned to us. He goes, don't laugh. He goes, stop smiling.
Yeah. We want this picture to be believable that we're pissed.
So we're just like, okay. So we made these angry faces. And then, I'm just like, we exchanged numbers. I'm like, I will do whatever I can to help you if Airbnb doesn't give you your money back because this is bullshit, all this other stuff. So anyways, before we leave, we have the door open, to the apartment, and it opens up into the kitchen, which goes in the living room. So I'm standing there with my back to the kitchen and he's facing me. And so I said, is there anything else I can do for you? So he looks over my shoulder and there's a bottle of Jack Daniels on the counter. And so he goes, how about they shot of Jack? So we invited him in and we got our little cups and we poured a shot. He's just like, that's good, and then it's like, and then he goes, okay, I'm ready to go. And then, he was able to find some accommodations for a lot more money, sadly, I'm sure. And was able to make it. I checked up on him the next day. He said it was another hassle getting in there, but at least they found a place. And, that was it. So, after I got home, I was been fighting with Airbnb to like get my money back, more money back, because I was like, all of this was just not acceptable. And basically they're like, you accepted alternate accommodations, so you're paying. Like, we'll give you $200 back and that's it. I'm like, well, it's something, but
it's a start.
Right. So I wrote a scathing review, which has yet to be posted. I think it can post 14 days from your stay.
Refreshing 3 times a day to see.
Yes. The host name is Mootez. Don't ever stay with them. Mootez. He's an asshole. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made was that I usually like research the host, make sure that they're all good. Like when we booked that was like, it looked like it was the last place like within our budget that we could book. And I think I just booked it without thinking. When I looked later on, he has 21 properties, which is red flag number one. Yeah. Never rent from anybody that has more than like maybe 2 properties because they don't care. Yep. And the other one was he had over 200 reviews and all of them, like 2 were good.
Yeah.
And all the rest of them were like stories just like ours, called an hour before, said he had another apartment. So he was making money on the side or something like that. There was some kind of grift going on. I don't know what.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, so I'm making it my life's mission to make sure that this idiot never gets another dime from anybody. So if you go to Montreal, never book with Mootez because he's a piece of shit.
This is going to really hurt him too, because he's a big fan of the podcast. So he's a big Deep Purple fan. He's gonna be, oh, this hurts.
Well, if you are, stop being one. We don't want you anymore. Deep Purple hates you, and so do we.
We'll return your this is actually it's actually Leaky Mausoleum's real name, so we're gonna have to you have to
This was the long game. Leaky Mausoleum was out to get me the whole time.
Oh my goodness. Well, as John said, we did meet up while I traveled to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
We had the first annual podcast and Golden Girl Day meetup. It just happened to be Golden Girls Day. I don't even remember why it was Golden Girls Day.
I don't even remember who knew or found out, but we Googled it and it was. And it was us at your parents' house, which I hadn't been to in years, and of course your family and Rich, the Gardot, the Roback. We were all there together.
And there's the commemorative coaster signed by Peter Gardot, Mark Roback.
I got mine too.
Famer, Rich.
I got mine too.
Yep. Oh, there you go. Very nice.
I have it right here on my desk. That was a great day. It was a fun day. It was fun seeing your parents and your kids, and a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And Peter Gardot and Mark Roback came from Connecticut, and brought us a number of things. It's chock full of, they brought us a goodie bag, chock full, all references from the show, chock full of nuts coffee, They brought some firewood, some illegal firewood. I hope nobody finds out about that.
Chicago mix.
Chicago mix, yeah. So we divided up the spoils between
Which I
us.
commandeered, by the way. So I took that home.
It was going to be too challenging to travel all around New England with the Chicago mix. But yeah, so yeah, it was a really good time. And
yeah, Nate had
also bought
great trip. It looked
this
like
bag of Australian licorice, which I'm going to have to get into on the show here. Australian licorice, original flavor.
Good day.
Soft licorice, fantastic. Well,
so yeah, it looked like you had a great trip. I was following your adventures via social media and texting you a little bit. So it looks like you had a great time out here, and you had some great weather, and got to see your cousin Jeff, who I haven't seen in like 30 years as well, probably, or 20 years, or who knows how long.
Yep. And my aunt Pauline was there, who was also coincidentally your geography teacher in high school.
Was she there? Did I see her?
Geometry teacher. Did I say geography?
Yeah,
she was there. Well, she didn't know you were there either. So the next night we went out for dinner, and something came up about you being there. She's like, John Matola was there. She was all mad. She's like, why didn't you say anything? And Jeff's like, Mom, he looks exactly the same. You didn't recognize him? He was standing right there talking to Nate.
I mean, I was standing like 3 feet away from your wife saying hello to everybody. I didn't even notice her until later. I'm like, oh my God, you were right there. So, I mean, I wouldn't recognize Jeff's mom. Like if she were there, I might've been looking right at her. I mean, I hadn't seen her since like high school. So, but anyways, hopefully it didn't offend anybody, but I don't
think so.
But yeah, so
my mom loved Rich. So that Rich was a very nice man. I was like,
he's very charming.
He's got you. Yeah. I was like, yeah, he's a smooth talker. He's got you convinced. But yeah, it was great for everybody to meet everyone. And it was really nice. So
yeah, basically looks like summer's coming to a close. You said that, it's the back to school suburbs. So your kids must be back.
Yeah, they started school yesterday. It's
wow.
Crazy.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Purple podcast. If you like what you hear and would like more episodes in the future, please donate on Patreon to support the show. You can also leave us a review in Apple Podcasts to help new people discover the show. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for show updates. See deeppurplepodcast.com for more details. Thank you for listening.